I'll start one by giving credit, obviously to Illinois. They played hard, as I expected that they would. But as I sit here or stand here before you, the more I play this thing back in my head even now, what happened today had very few things to do with Illinois. It goes back to what I always say, it's going to be us versus us. And we didn't play very well in any of the three phases. Offensively, to not score there before the half, to be inefficient on third down, not come away with touchdowns when we got into the red area. Defensively, gave up too many explosive plays there at the end. And then special teams, kept providing momentum for the other team with the returns that we had. So our standard doesn't change when we win or when we lose. It stays and remains the same. And, obviously we got a bye week looking at us this week to get some guys healthy back out there, guys that we need, while also taking a look at all the things we do offensively, defensively, special teams, quality control it, and get this thing back on track and back in rhythm. This thing starts and ends with me as the leader. I've got to have our team prepared to go play. We don't make excuses. We did not play to our standard, and it's frustrating to watch because I still have a lot of faith and belief in this team. And as I just told them, the adversity that we find ourselves in today, we put ourselves there. So the only people that can get us out of it is us. And we'll use this next week to just evaluate every part of our program like we would always do during the bye week. And then obviously, like I said, get some guys healthy in turn to get us ready to go to Chicago and play Northwestern in a couple of weeks. I still got a lot of faith in this team. Still a lot of football left to be played. All of our goals are still ahead of us, but we've made it a little more difficult for ourselves, and we've got to do the work that's necessary to get us going back in the right direction. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Hey, Coach. What went into the decision to run the ball on 3rd and 6 on that last offensive drive?
Anytime we make calls like that, it's easy for us to second guess them. It's obviously something that we prepared for. We have runs in 3rd and medium based on the front and based on the defense that we expect to get. Again, I'd like to see us find ways to be more efficient on 3rd and medium, whether it's run or throw. And when you go back and evaluate whether the run was effective or not, a lot of the times we had some breakdowns there. We got to take a look and see what happened. I can't tell you exactly what happened other than we didn't block it very well, and we didn't make a play on 3rd and medium, which we have to be able to do, and we've been really good at.
Was there any consideration of throwing the ball there?
It's always consideration. Like I said, when we go to 3rd and medium, we have calls on both sides of the thing. 3rd medium runs, 3rd medium pass. We made the decision to run, and it didn't work. So that goes back to myself as the leader. I got to give us a better play or put us in a better position in that situation.
Was your thought process kind of just settling for 3, trying to get a defensive stop and then going to overtime?
No, we stay aggressive. For us to make that call was because we obviously expected a look, and we didn't get the look maybe, and we weren't efficient. We didn't block it the way it probably should be blocked. And I hate commenting on it because I don't know and didn't see the play per se to see where it was a breakdown. But I can tell you every play is designed to work, and we got a blocker for everybody typically. And obviously somewhere down the line we didn't make a block or we missed the read, and we got to get that corrected.
Hey, Mike, the team talked about obviously this week not letting the Ohio State loss linger. You fell behind early again today. Is there any part of that that you think may have played into this week?
I hope not, because our standard is we play the next play, we play the next game, and to me that's that's all we talked about this week. We knew it to be a tough-ass game. I mean, they play Big Ten football in Illinois too. But again, I'm disappointed in the things we didn't do. Not as much as what Illinois did, but the things we didn't do. To turn it over there before the half when you have a chance to go up 21-7. We always fight to get what we call that 2-score swing between the halves. That's one of the reasons why we tried the surprise onside there to steal that possession back. Obviously didn't get it executed. Was there, didn't get it executed, and then we gave up a touchdown, which then allowed them to have the 2-score swing that we try to fight for in what we call the middle 8.
Hey, Mike.
George.
end of the first half, early third quarter, a couple of personal foul penalties. It's been uncharacteristic this season. Is that just guys pressing too much to try to make an impact?
No, those were competitive penalties. I mean, the face mask on the quarterback sack, and then they call hands to the face on one of those third down deals. The way we saw it on tape, it looked like the hands were up here in the top of the shoulder pad. They obviously thought it was hands to the face. I have a hard time being disappointed other than we got to play smarter and cleaner. But in these competitive type penalties like that, I mean, it just happened at some inopportune times when we couldn't afford it to happen, especially coming off the turnover we had on offense. We needed to get out of that half without giving up a score.
Mike, right before halftime, their kick team lined up, looked like they were going to go for a field goal. You called a timeout, and then they brought out the offense, I believe, on fourth down. Was the idea behind the timeout preparing for a possible trick play on the kick team, or what was the thinking behind the timeout?
That timeout was to remind our field goal block team that they have the ability to draw you off sides, and which then would give them a first down. And so we had 3 timeouts. You use one to bring our guys over to gather them, make sure they understood, hey, just because they're lined up for a field goal doesn't mean they can't give a false cadence or a hard snap count to draw us off, which then would give them an automatic first down. So it's to get us clean on what to expect. A lot of people don't practice those things. We do, but it was a reminder to know that, hey, there's a chance for the hard cadence, be on side, see the ball snap, and also to try to freeze the kicker a little bit.
Hey, Coach.
What's up, Vern?
Going back to the end of the game with the third down and the fourth, was there any consideration about going for it on that 4th and 6?
No, we were in our kick line. We knew we needed a touchdown to win, a field goal to tie. I would have loved to get the 3rd and 6 executed to keep the drive alive, but once we didn't get the positive yardage, I got faith in our kicker. He missed one earlier that, just is uncharacteristic right now, and he's been a little inconsistent. But we did know that we needed at least a field goal to tie it. Figured our defense had been playing well the last 3 drives. That worst case scenarios, we hold them and maybe get one more crack to go down, which is why we tried to use some of those timeouts. Unfortunately, they hit the big play down the sideline, gave them an opportunity to get themselves in field goal range, and goes back to, like I said, it wasn't much as what they did as much as what we did not do.
That play down the sideline that you talked about, there were a lot of one-on-one battles with the corners that seemed like they went Illinois' way. What did you see from Corey Coley and Jaquan Shepard?
I mean, again, I hate commenting on play before I have a chance to really evaluate it. Obviously, I saw we had some PIs down the field earlier where I felt like we panicked with the ball in the air. I saw a few plays where we made the break up in the end zone, so you got to take the good with the bad. Obviously, I don't like seeing the ball being caught down the field in that situation because we want to hold them out of the field goal range, and we didn't make a play when the play was there for us to make.
And I know last year there were a couple of times where in the Wisconsin and Penn State games where you weren't happy with how your team performed in the weather. A little bit of conditions today. How do you feel Talia played?
The weather played no factor in the day.
Coach, not looking for excuses, but the injuries in the defensive backfield and then on the offensive line, how do you evaluate what you had to do with a shortened bench, not enough players to rotate through there, as usual?
You know me long enough. You guys know long enough. I don't care about injuries. Injuries are going to be part of the game. It's the reason why when we come in here and you guys ask about all these guys are playing, that's why we play a lot of players. We play a physical sport called football, and injuries are a part of the game. And what we have to do, and we've recruited, and the guys that go in, as I said, our standard doesn't change between a first-team player, second-team player, third-team player. We have to create enough depth, which I feel like we have. But now we've got to get these guys to execute and play like they're capable of. Again, it goes back to us. We didn't play our best. And that's the frustrating part for me as a coach. And it's my job to get us to play our best. It's my job to get us coaching our best. And the day didn't happen.
Hey, Coach, is it good to have the bye week now? After you guys have been going since August, now you get to take a little breather and figure out what needs to be tweaked a little bit.
The schedule is the schedule. I mean, I'd like to have one every 4 weeks in a perfect world to give us a chance to stay healthy. I mean, we're still a developmental program. We played a lot of young guys out there today that hopefully this experience will be one that we can put in our toolbox. And as I said, it's about getting back in rhythm and getting back to the momentum and to the standard of what we've got to do, which is every Saturday is to go out and play our best. And I mean, my goal is to get us playing our best. Today we did not play our best, and it starts with me as the leader to make sure that I put us in the best possible position to do just that. Thanks, guys.